Guys, hey, how is it going here? Welcome to another episode of a Film Life Vlog. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys joined me. So today I want to talk about something that was in the news recently. I went on the internet, was browsing, and then I got the news that Olympus is actually quitting the camera business. Oh boy, that is really big news. That is such incredible news. After 84 years in the camera business, they're finally quitting. And I do have quite a bit of Olympus cameras, film cameras that is. I'm a big fan of Olympus. The Zuiko lenses are one of the best lenses you could ever find in the film photography world. They're pretty good cameras in the digital era. From the look of things, this is more like a corporate decision. They were saying that they've been losing money for the last 3 years, which makes me wonder, was this a reactionary decision? Was this just something that wasn't really well thought out? Just think of it. After 3 years, they've been in business making cameras for 84 years. They've built such a reputation, a good reputation, brand value, just mind share for 84 years. And because of 3 years of not making profit, they decide to call it quits. It looks like this is probably a decision from a CEO that wants to please the shareholders. It looks like, which they tend to do. And sometimes they do not put value on the name, on the brand, and a lot of the time, in my opinion, they're a bit short-sighted as well. Yeah, look at what happened to Polaroid, for example. They had the same issue, right? With the demise of film photography, that business stagnated. At least that wing of the business stagnated for a long time. They were using the name Polaroid on random things. They were basically licensing the name for random things until the Impossible Project, right? When they started developing their own instant film using some of the formula from Polaroid. And they became so successful with the resurgence of film photography that they were actually able to go back and purchase that name, the Polaroid brand. It's kind of disheartening hearing about this. Even though it looks like that, this could actually be a good thing, is what I'm starting to think. That this actually could be a good thing, because in the same way that Polaroid wasn't doing so well with the original company, and once a more focused company took the name and started building awesome stuff since then, now that company is doing much better. So who knows? Here's to wishing, that Olympus will actually transform into a much, much better company. And here's to wishing that should that happen, that maybe they might throw in a film camera or two for some of us wishful thinkers, just maybe a camera, maybe one film camera. Would that be too much to ask for enthusiasts like us? So back to the article. It says that the firm said that despite its best efforts, the extremely severe digital market was no longer profitable. Think about it, guys. That is amazing. That is just incredible to me. Wow. Think about what happened to film photography when it got to a point where film photography was no longer profitable, and then everything just switched to digital photography. There's been some resurgence since then, but now because of the predominance of cameras on these phones, it seems like digital cameras, dedicated digital cameras, are becoming I wouldn't say obsolete, but an inconvenient thing. Which also makes me wonder, was this decision really wise? I mean, considering that we still need dedicated cameras. You know, what about the professionals? What about those that want a dedicated equipment to take photos, not just a camera on a phone? So here I am, a film camera enthusiast, sort of now almost feeling sorry for digital cameras in a sense, because I can see the writing on the wall. If should this continue past Olympus, what if Canon, what if Nikon decides to do the same? Because I bet you they're also paying attention and taking notes on what happened to Olympus. Projecting into the future, should this trend continue, what's going to happen would be that you end up with one or two companies in the digital camera business that are not motivated to produce quality products. But I still think we're many, many years away from that happening. But who knows? So they're saying that the market very, very quickly got swallowed up by smartphones and turned out not to exist. The market for standalone cameras has fallen dramatically. By one estimate, it dropped by 84%, guys, between 2010 and 2018. That is a stunning shift in the market. So this could actually happen sooner than later, that these companies would actually be forced out. So going forward, they will be focusing on making microscopes and medical equipment, I guess, which is a really, really sad end to a legacy, such a strong legacy that Olympus has pushed, both in film photography and digital photography. But I do have a strong sensation that this is not the last that we've heard of Olympus in the photography business. I think that this could be actually the push, like I mentioned, that they needed to give this brand to a company that could refocus the brand and maybe build something better out of it. And I'm hoping that they do not do the same thing that Yashica did. If you guys know with what Yashica did with selling that name to a company in China, which made that garbage camera, which I'll put a link to that. But they made the most garbage camera I've ever seen in a while. I hope that they do not go that route. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why don't you leave this video a like? As always, I hope you have a wonderful day and stay safe.